Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Meet the Artist on Agogo Wave Radio, a program that is brought to you by Agogo Wave themselves. We have a very special guest in the building. Welcome, my man, Suh Clovis. How you doing,
what up,
bro?
what up? I'm good, bro. I'm good.
And how have you been? It's a very beautiful Sunday afternoon.
Man, the sun is shining, very warm. Belgium is great, man.
Oh, that's alright. So, hope it's not too difficult to find our studio, to locate our studio.
No, it wasn't that difficult. I had to find my way somehow, so it's all good.
So, it's nice to have you here because it hasn't
Thank
been easy. We've been trying to get an appointment for like about almost
True.
2 months and now
True.
working on the video,
True.
doing this and that. But finally, you're here.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I like to start with, I like to start with the artist introducing himself to the audience. Please tell us more about yourself.
I go by the name of Suh Clovis. For those of y'all who don't really know me yet, I'm a producer, songwriter, singer. I produce for artists like Dick Mayer, T. Swain. I produce for a lot of upcoming artists, in Antwerp, Brussels, and Belgium as a whole. And I've done like 2 albums for people, for other female artists, for other artists. And it's been a ride, I just keep working every day, keep learning every day, and finally I got my own album coming soon, the Baddest 2. The Baddest one came out with a video, so go check it out. It's on YouTube right now, and the audio is on iTunes, Spotify, Shazam, and all whatnot. Go check it out.
All right. Before we go into the to your work and the
Yeah.
projects that you have realized,
Yeah.
I would like you to describe a little bit of your music for us. Because I don't like to call everybody Afrobeat artist because it's too large.
Yeah, it is too large because you have different genres of Afro beats, and some people just keep doing the regular. But me, as a upcoming artist and as a creative mind set of a producer, I tend to like take the old and the new and put it together. So I have a bloodline between the old school and the new school. That's my style.
So who is it,
Like,
African old school or
It is like it's now right. You have like a Afro trap,
Okay.
right? Afro trap. Like most people might not recall, but for me in Belgium, I can definitely say that I started this thing.
Okay.
Like I was doing it way back in 2011, 2012. I was doing the Afro trap thing. I was including my 808s on Afro beats. I could do it, but then I needed the right artist to do this, the
To
thing
jump
straight,
on it,
to
yeah.
jump on it. So while doing that, I actually, the first time I ever did that was with artist Baddest. So this is a Cameroonian living in Antwerp, a dope artist too. I started with him. Did the Afro trap beat. He used it like he rapped on it and it was sick. But it wasn't that we could do anything much further because it was still a tryout of what I'm still creating. I myself, I didn't even know that was gonna be a thing right now because I was just doing it, being creative.
That's
Right now, people just sit back and be like, I'm the one who started. I'm the one who started. It's all good, But I'm saying in Belgium, I did that. Like I started it, Now it's all over the place. So.
I mean, you should be happy that you, even though nobody's gonna agree on that, you're just gonna say, well, because when we started doing African music, when we started playing African music in the club, nobody did it. I'm talking about 2007, 2008, but now it's popular. So we are
Yeah.
glad to be part of the growth and the
Yep.
development of the African music.
Yeah.
So my next question is gonna be: you being a singer and a producer, how do you find um, motivation and balance between the two?
Um, like it's actually to let me put it like this. You know, to make my own songs, it always comes through a surprise. You know, because I don't actually sit and be like, you know what, Clovis, I'm gonna do a song for me. You know, it never end up being complete. Yeah, either I do it and then along the line I just feel a certain type of way, and then stop, and then come back later, or I just sit one day, I just be like, you know what, I got this, let's go, and it just happens. Sometimes, most of the time, the way I do my songs is, like I'm walking on the street, or I'm at work, or I'm in a certain place, and I just have this idea coming to my head. I take out my phone and I record something. You might look at me thinking I'm crazy, but trust me, when I get back home, I don't care if it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the night, I'ma do it. I'ma just lay the foundation down the next day. I do it immediately and record it. Now for the production side, it weighs in because I get to produce for a lot of people now, and I don't really have time to make my own stuff. It's not even at this point. I'm not trying to be just me.
All right.
I'm trying to also put my talent to, lay my talent to other individuals who are, coming for help, or who actually want to do something with me right now. So it's on the balance, but most of the time, I tend to produce.
Did you start with production first or with singing? As personally.
I would say both.
All right.
Yeah, because but I would say, like, it is a one-one situation, because I started like singing first, and then I already had the idea of making beats, but I didn't really wanna. I thought maybe it was like a special kind of thing that someone must go through to be able to do it, but I didn't know that I could just do it myself. And then after going to a couple of studios, like they try to fuck me up for real. I lay down my vocals, they pack a lot of auto-tune on it, thinking, this is dope. And then when I come back home, I listen to it, I'm like, damn, this shit is whack. Then it got me to a point where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna set up my own studio, and like from the jump, it just kicked in. I was with my friends Jay Weasley and Hans. We were doing songs together and everything. Jay Weasley was actually making the beats, and I was just singing on it. But then, after seeing a couple of times what he's doing, I'm like, why not? Let me get the program a try. I did it, and it just like naturally just came. I started doing, like, making dope beats already, and started until I'm making albums for someone, producing hit songs for Nick Mayer. Shout out to him. He has been, one of the artists that has, like, long time saw what I could do, and like, we just kicked in with the chemistry we have. Like, he tells me what he needs, and I just lay it down exactly as he needs, and boom, he shoots a audio, video, and promotion. So, it's a great thing to be at right now.
And where's your studio actually? Where do you
I have a home studio actually.
Okay.
I have a home studio, base home studio. But after, like, when I produce everything and mix and mix it to the max, sometimes I might just take it to an official studio for mastering and other stuff. But still, I can do that myself home. But sometimes I just want to keep it, like, real and straight up, so that
you want the best.
I want the best sometimes, like, to come out, the quality, and all the times, not even sometimes. I want the best to come out. So it's it's a great thing to have DJs play your song and be like, damn, I like this. I just don't want to listen to the vocals. I want to listen to the beat. I like that feeling. When someone is, especially when it's my production, and then because the vocals, I'm definitely good with it, but the beats, is something that everyone listens to when it comes to Afro beats. They don't. Sometimes they don't even care what you're singing. It's the beat that is crazy, and then the vocals come later.
You said something about not caring about the singing, but I would like to talk. One of the things that I want to talk to you about, but I'll talk to you about that when we come back from the break.
No problem.
Welcome back, people. We're still in the building with my main man, Suh Clovis.
Yep.
Joining us, we are still on Me the Artist. So before we went to the break, we were just talking about your work and the kind of people that you have worked with and your relationship with other artists in Belgium. So I want to ask you something. What do you think, or what is your opinion about the state of the Afro beats music in Belgium?
In Belgium in particular, I would say like the way the Afro music is being conceived right now is it's improving in a kind of way. It's improving, but then at a certain time, like I don't know, like right now, for example, the Afro music is not really that popular, still in Belgium. It is like everywhere right now, but it's not really kicking in when it comes to the local citizens doing the Afro beat. They play the Afro beat that are being played here in Belgium is from other countries. They tend to play Afro beats from other countries, from Holland, from Germany.
Sorry to interrupt you, because that's the reason I'm asking you this question, because we see other artists in other other communities
precisely
that are coming out back in Africa, also in Europe and the diaspora. You see artists in everybody is tapping into the African music now.
True.
So why do you think that we haven't seen anybody that's living in Belgium, that's making music in Belgium, that's African? Why hasn't been any rising star actually?
I mean, like I don't to that I can't really explain the chemistry behind supporters, fans listening to Afro beats in Belgium and the Afro beats in Africa. Or let me say Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, or other places. I don't know how they consume that music, because it's the same thing we make. Because if you listen if you listen to the records I make, or Nick Mayo makes, or Busy Salifu makes, or this other guys Ariki makes, it's all the same. Like it's all the same. It's Afro beats, same genre, same style, but in different flows. Same people doing the same Afro in the name of Afro beats, but then the way they conceive it is it's very minimum than music coming from elsewhere. That's what they enjoy listening than listening to the ones that are near you. I tend to say, there's this guy in Antwerp, he's an artist actually, David Jamal. Shout out to him, he's a Ghanaian. And he tends to say every time, support your locals. And after reading that, I'm always repeating that too, because when you don't, and then when the person takes off and is in a certain level, you be like, yeah, I know him, and want to be close, when it's too late, and that will be too late. Then you start having an awkward relationship, because from the jump you didn't support your locals while they were still trying. You know, even though not trying but doing it good. You know, but you won't just give it. You were just like, you know what? Let me support one time and that's it. Yeah, I mean your support is nice, but then you know sometimes.
Don't you also think that because one of the things I was discussing with OBL the last time was that don't you think that because if you are in Cameroon,
Yeah.
you don't have different communities. Everybody is the same.
The same.
But here you have Moroccan communities,
True.
Turkish communities,
True.
African communities, and even within the African communities, you have Nigerian communities,
True.
And my point is, don't you think that artists are being limited to their community?
Yeah, I mean, like for example, I'm in Antwerp, right? Antwerp is big enough to support me.
That's
You understand
true.
what I mean? But I find it very funny that you know I get my songs well known in Brussels than the place I live. You know, there's a quote they always say: "Charity begins at home." Mine doesn't start like that. You know, mine doesn't begin at my home.
That's
It
true.
begins elsewhere before catching up my home. You know, like this video came out. You know, most people might just click a like, but don't actually click to the link. If you get what I mean.
They don't go and check it
They
out.
don't check it out. They just see it and then be like, oh, he brought out a video, a like on Facebook. But you don't actually listen to, you have listened to the audio, yes. Have you seen the video? No.
But even
But-
by seeing the video, you can actually
share it too.
say, because when I saw the video, I'm like, this is a dope song. This is a good video. It's because I checked it. If I just see the link, I liked it on video, I would not know
Trust
the
me, some
content
people
of
do
it. You
that.
understand?
Trust people do that. Like going back to what I said about you know people not listening to the vocals. I actually like having conversations with people, fans and other people listening to my music or other genres of music, and the different versions that I got from people who do music. They listen to everything, but someone who is just listening the music, if it's good, doesn't really pay attention to the little details. If what the person is saying on the song makes sense, or it's a life-telling story, but the thing they quickly fall into is the beat, not the vocals. That's what I noticed from talking to these different type of people. Then it makes me, think like, but what type of music would I do? Like, would I bring out if I keep lying to people? Like, I come up with something that doesn't really, perceive me or actually make people want to have fun.
And to back you up, but I always see as an event organizer and as a promoter, I always look at, for example, I grew up listening to, I started listening to hip hop afterwards, but we grew up listening to the same song,
True.
the same music our parents were listening to.
Yeah.
And if you look at the quality, for example, I always ask myself, if you're singing like this with auto-tune and too much beat and everything, how are you going to perform this kind of song live?
Well,
Because
yeah,
you can't perform this live.
trust me, I've seen a lot. Like, I don't know if you have seen
I have seen
you have
some,
right?
like-
Like some people actually, I'm not gonna speak on their behalf, but I'm saying what I've seen. Some artists, actually when they go to perform, their presentation doesn't even match the area. Like they just come in and all of a sudden I'm seeing an artist performing and no one gives a fuck. Like no one gives, they don't pay attention to the guy. But if someone like me comes to the stage, it's gonna be different. I'm gonna make sure you keep your phone outside. Let's enjoy
Yeah.
the music. You dig what I'm saying? If you want to bring out your phone, it's like to do a Snapchat or a video to be like, damn, this guy is awesome. You understand? But not like a distraction in a way. Like an artist come, you just take the microphone, the DJ plays a song, and you keep on moving.
I don't understand, because I'm thinking, okay, if you make a song like this how are you going to, if I put you on a massive stage, if people are there waiting to see, they want to be entertained, they are excited, how are you going to perform this
Like
song,
this song, like,
live?
yeah, like the, for example, I don't know if you're gonna like give me time to do a little bit of a cappella.
Why not?
But
Sure.
most of the time, like when I go to perform, now it's summer, right? If I want to start, I have a show and I want to start performing, I go two ways. It's either I perform a song and then go a cappella and then go to another song, or I start with a cappella, to show what I can do. You understand? Like to show what I bring in to the table, to make you believe that this guy, is actually working on something, not just bringing out a song and then you play back and you think you killed it. I mean, it's nice, but it's too easy. That's where you differentiate the entertainers, artists, and musicians. Like that's where you differentiate all these categories of people.
Maybe that's what's killing the Afrobeat scene in Belgium, because we have to
True.
separate the people who knows what they are, who know what they are doing.
True.
They already have in mind how they are going to perform the song while they are making it. You understand? So they
Yeah.
are not just expecting a DJ to play and then play playback on it and then say they killed. Because if you are going to be performing for 30 minutes, it has to be a very good performance.
It gotta be good.
So back to my question, what do you think that we can do to actually bring the African artists and their work to a bigger plateau, to an even more larger audience?
Yeah, the truth is, you have many artists here. Like I said, differentiating the good, like the true artists from the entertainers and those who can actually bring a good song. Like if promoters want to promote artists, right? In Belgium, in particular, you have to look at what the person brings in, what the person has done as a whole. Because I myself, if I'm an organizer, I wouldn't go for someone who is who hasn't really brought something great, something not great, but something
At least good
uplifting,
enough.
at least good enough to be like, I'm gonna promote you, because nowadays it sucks on the fact that most people don't want to invest in their music. They don't, like, they just want the cheap way, the easy way. Go on YouTube, download a beat and then flow on it. Like once that you not knowing that when you do that, you play the beat, for example, people will start singing the song they know from that beat, not your song.
That's true.
You understand? They will care less about what you are saying. You understand what I mean? Like if you pick a beat, you pick for example, let me say a DJ Khaled, I Got the Keys beat, for example, and you start playing, someone automatically will start yelling, I got the keys.
That's true.
Nobody would even want to listen to what you're saying. Some few people will do, but some people wouldn't do, So you got to like differentiate, look at what the person has created already, like a platform, and be like, he's good enough for promotion. Let's put him with the others that are known now, the other artists that are known to match up, to open for them. That's an opportunity, Someone like me, I had the chance to open for a lot of artists, like Tufan, like Davido, like Bracket, I had an opportunity to come in this certain artists, through other artists who actually see my production and see what I bring in, to be like, what, join me, let's go to this event and make it happen. That's an opportunity. That's more than enough for someone who is starting, to be like, what, I'm gonna keep working hard, bring out good music, and you're stepping up your game each time, because right now the type of song I put out right now is like, like a level right now. I'm not trying to be, to be down still where I was, like maybe let me say last month or 1 year ago or 2 years ago. I need to improve by stepping up my game, you know. And plus, I'm not gonna sit here and brag like I do it all by myself. No, I do have help from DJs, from artists, you know, from my own colleague artists who know certain things that I don't. You know,
so you have a good relationship with other artists as well.
Of course I do. You know, I don't walk around here and trying to be, you
because
know,
people don't like, get along.
True, they don't. Like that. And I've seen that a lot. Like a lot of artists, you know, they come to me. Most of them, they come to me for beats. When I make the beats and I put out a business line, like, listen, even if you don't have this money, but you know, let's negotiate. You give me this money, and when I make the beat, they pressure me to make the beat. You know, mind you, I'm also doing. I'm not only focused. I'm not full-time producer. I'm also going to work. You know, doing other things. When I come back from work, I'm tired.
That's true.
And when you put me pressure to make the beat, I know it's definitely important, and I do it. Then when it comes to the time when you have to pay me, it's always bad relationship. Then you start looking at the person like, damn, what is this? You know?
Like and it's doing bad.
Yeah, it's always coming to that area where you start thinking like that.
Like you're the bad guy.
Yeah, like you know, they'll start saying I'm the bad guy for prizing you. Meanwhile, no, I just did my work and you didn't help. Yeah, you didn't go to your work, what you said you would do, you know. That it forces people nowadays to start making contracts, and then when I pull up a contract, you start saying, "Hey, Clovis, come on, man, I'm your brother, this and that." What you know, you start feeling a certain type of way. Meanwhile, that's not because of you, but it's because of what has happened already.
That's true. We have to learn to respect agreements.
Yeah, you know, respect. If you don't have the money, just tell me upfront, like, Clovis, I just need a beat from you. You make dope beats. Like, I mean, tell me something that will make me do the beat, you know. But don't tell me you will pay me and then later on you start fucking up, and then we have a bad relationship because of that little thing, you know. Mostly in Antwerp, for example, like when my video came out, I saw who supported me and who didn't. From my own fellow artists, we work together. You know, it's not like I'm saying you should be my friend to do that. You know, when yours come out, most of the times my page, when you look at my page, I always share people's stuff, even if I'm not close to them. But I hear that their songs. I listen to your songs first. When it's good, I'm like, damn, why not? I share it, you know. I share it. But when mine comes out, you know, people start acting very funny, and you know, the highest they will do is click a like from a person attacked, a mutual friend that we have. Then you go click a like on the mutual friend that we have, but you haven't listened to the song or see the video to even be like, to text me back and be like, yo man, the video was, you know, was something. That, you know, when I hear that, that gives me a motivation to be like, damn, I'm working on something. You know, but if I don't get nothing, and then I will feel disappointed for spending a lot on that song. Meanwhile, you know, it's still nothing. I mean, then it's like I'm not working enough.
We all need, even we as a radio station on Agogo Wave Radio, no matter what we do, we need support as well.
True.
We need feedback to help us, you know, improve what we're doing. But we'll continue in a bit after we get back from the break. You know, let's take a quick break right now.
Ici c'est la fête, I want you to give me that dap. Il faut accélérer aussi, balancer your life. Petit à petit, petit à petit, petit à petit. Assez mollo na mollo, mollo na mollo, mollo na mollo. No comporter when you come for my club, piqué for the dance. Please arrêtez ce que vous faites là, c'est casse. Grand frère cash, petit frère for club, party head, say go house. My grand frère crack my head, tell me say make I go dance. be the